Hello, everybody. My name is Andrea Polverini. I'm a neurolanguage coach and I'm a life coach at PA Language Coaching. And today I'm here to introduce to you an event which will take place tomorrow, Wednesday, the 24th of May at 4 p.m. GMT +2 Spanish time. So, the event I'm talking about is the one called Che ti va di vedere? This question basically means what would you like to see? And this is an event basically made or thought for whoever wants to practice his or her Italian or familiarize with the language. So the people, the attendants are usually clients of mine or former students I used to have. Generally speaking, there are people who can already speak Italian on two different levels. But in any case, the event is open to whoever wants to attend, no matter what the level is. At time, I had attendants who just wanted to come and listen. So whatever your level is, whether you are already a proficient Italian speaker or whether you're just starting off, or whether you are on an intermediate level, you are most welcome to join us. So who would benefit from an event like this and in what way? The idea behind the events I host every Wednesday at 4 p.m. GMT +2 is basically to give whoever is interested in learning, improving, practicing Italian, the right environment to do that. What I mean by the right environment is an environment where you feel safe to use the Italian you know, where you feel ready to practice, to learn, when you can have a good time and not worry about being corrected or making mistakes or being judged because because of a mistake you made. So it's basically a place where you can you can let go and speak. This event in particular is called What Would You Like to Watch? Che ti va di vedere? Simply because to foster a conversation, to stimulate a conversation, we're going to use a few scenes, a little bit of a TV series, which is taken from Amazon Prime. And the name of the TV series is Vita da Carlo, Life of Carlo. And this is basically the story of, it's the story of the life of a famous Italian director and actor called Carlo Verdone. What we basically learn through this, from this TV series, which is something in between, I'd say, fiction and a documentary. We basically learn about Carlo in the typical the style, the genre is actually reminds me a lot of Carlo Verdone's comedies, where You always get funny bits which are mixed with more melancholic bits. So it is a comedy. It is a comedy, but as I was saying, it has some serious bits. And basically, in this TV series, we understand that our main character, our director and actor, Carlo Verdone, is basically tired of doing the same type of comedies over and over again, although they've always been successful, and he has his fans. He wants to do a different kind of film, which would suit to a festival like the Berlin Festival or the Venice Festival. So he wants to change style basically, and let's say that his fans want him to keep doing what he does best, and his producer also wants him to keep doing the same kind of comedies. The very first actually types of comedies where he plays different kind of roles in the same film, but he doesn't feel like doing that anymore. So that's basically one something we're going to hear about in the different episodes. But there are other events which gets mixed up with what I just told you. For example, Carlo got mixed up in a situation he doesn't know how to get out. Basically, he's been asked to run for in the next election to present himself as the new mayor of Rome. He wasn't able to get himself out of this situation. So as he didn't really say clearly no, he find himself surrounded by people who now expect him to be the new mayor of Rome. And he doesn't really want to get into politics, but despite what he wants, it's hard for him to get himself out. Then there are other little stories which actually mixed up with the two main storylines I told you about. There's, for example, the love story between the relationship between Carlo's daughter and her boyfriend. Carlo's daughter, Maddalena, is going to relocate in the UK. She found a job there she can't refuse, but the boyfriend Kiko doesn't really feel like going to the UK with her, so he wants to stay in Rome. Maddalena and Kiko live in the same in Carlos' apartment, and Kiko has a pretty comfortable life there, so he doesn't really want to go to the UK. So they split up. Maddalena leaves, Kiko stays with Carlo, and Carlo is actually wants him to leave his house and go back with his parents, as now the two young couple have the young couple has broken up. But it's not so easy to get rid of Kiko, even though eventually Carlo made it, at least for some time. So as I said, it's a funny comedy, but there's in Carlo Verdone's style there are some melancholic and serious parts as well. And how does we use this nice story for our event to practice Italian? Well, basically, we start the event as usual by saying hi to each other, by checking how we all are. And then once we get started with the TV series, I play a few scenes from the TV series, then I pause, I stop playing it, I get back with the attendance, and we check what we understand, we check comprehension of maybe some new vocabulary, some new expressions, we ask each other questions. And so basically, the TV series is just an excuse for us to keep talking, to talk about something, to learn some new words and expressions. And the main focus here is on speaking, on comprehension, on fluency. So unless I'm requested to do so, I don't usually correct the attendance. But what I do is actually writing in the chat box, in the platform chat box, any interesting piece of vocabulary I hear in the film, or I hear the attendants mentioning, anything which is related to their questions. So vocab they don't understand, idiomatic expressions, maybe features of the local Roman dialect, which makes comprehension difficult. I try to tackle and explain all that. But as I said, I don't usually I let people speak, and actually, if I can, I let the attendants interact among each other. I'm there, I listen to them, I jump in when my help is needed, but this is basically an hour for the attendants, for those who wants to practice Italian. So as soon as the event starts and I say hi to everybody, I try and step back a little and let them make the most of the time together. What else? So this is basically how it takes place. And what's the language used during the event? Well, the language is definitely Italian. So we use Italian all the way through the hour together. However, I have attendants from different countries, mainly from Spain, France, and Germany. So at times, linking to their mother tongue might be useful to explain, to clarify some new vocabulary, some new expressions. So in case that is needed, it's no problem to do that. It's actually useful, in my opinion, to do that and match that new word or new idiomatic expression with the corresponding one in the attendance language. Well, how can you register? Well, in order to register, you will have to log into my website www.youritalianlanguagecoach.com. You will land on my homepage. You just scroll down, and towards the end, before the blog session, you will see the weekly event posted. So from there, you can register for the event. One thing I like to mention is that the event is actually free for my clients, for my former students, for whoever has taken at least a language session with me. For the rest of the people, there is a small fee to be paid, which is 5.13 euros, and that's basically it. So this is the event basically which I'm going to host tomorrow, Wednesday, 24th of May, at 4 p.m. GMT +2. But it is not the only event I host. So there are usually 3 types of events which I host. One is Che ti va di vedere, which is based on a TV series, on a film, on a video, basically. So the video, in whatever form, is used to stimulate the conversation. However, next week I'm going to host another event where instead of a video, we will be reading bits of a novel, and I'll tell you more about it next week. And after next week's event, there is going to be a third type of event when there is actually nothing to watch, nothing to read, but we will just freely talk about anything which comes to mind. And that is called Due chiacchiere in Italiano, let's chat in Italian. So there are basically every week there is a different event hosted. There are actually 3 types of events, and which repeat themselves one after the other. And that's it. The philosophy behind these events is basically the same, giving whoever wants to practice Italian, a safe environment to do it. When I say safe, it's not because you're out there, you're in danger, but simply because it might be difficult sometimes to find the right environment to practice the language you're learning, when probably the level is not exactly where you would like to be, when you're still struggling to utter the first few words, to make yourself understood, and when words are not coming to your mind. And so this space devoted to all you learners of Italian, it's basically a space where you can test your Italian, you can try, you can learn by making mistakes, and you will feel surrounded by other friendly Italian learners, people who just want to get to know you, interact through Italian, have a nice time. So there is no pressure whatsoever, and it's the atmosphere is very relaxed and laid back. So, well, if you feel like having a go one of these days, just log on my website, www.youritalianlanguagecoach.com, and register for the event. You're most welcome. I hope to have the chance to see you all sooner or later. So thank you very much for listening to me, and that's all for today. And well, I'll see you again next week, probably this same day on Tuesday, to introduce to you next week's event. Thank you so much again. I'm Andrea Polverini, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.